And when I think about really trust, and when I think about how we become whole and how we show up for one another, tell me, what does progress look like for you in terms of We Got Us Moms? How did that even come together, and how did you know it needed to take place now?
Right. So I got the name from Horace. My son always texting me before he begs. Okay, Mom, I got us. I'm like, you got us? Okay. Do you got $40 for my phone bill? I'm like, okay. You know what? No, yeah, I got you. This is what I got for you. You come to my Zoom meeting, right?
Yeah.
So he would come. I'll give him the 40, right, to pay his phone bill. So once he passed, and I still read his texts, and I still, even on his snap, I write him, just like today when I leave. I'm gonna write him something to let him know that I came and thank him for opening up the doors. It ain't easy, but I do, right?
Yeah.
And so sorry on that one.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then, so
Wow.
so once Lorenzo was murdered, right? And so I just had to deal with it. So my daughters and them, we had to go get suits, stuff from the wear, stuff that I hadn't been to a funeral in 30 years.
Wow. And this is during the pandemic.
Right. So it was just different. And so when we went to go find him something to wear, I went over. He always liked different socks. So all his socks is $20. I'm like, hold up, Lorenzo, you gonna really have to go to Popeye. No, you gonna have to go. Not once a week. You have to go. Right? So he likes socks. So when I went in Nordstrom's, I found some socks, and the socks has said, and now my story is all told. So it just felt like I was supposed to tell his story, right? So honestly, I kind of just give him allow him to guide me through it, him and the Lord, right? I'm just their model, to be honest. When he died, I died. People don't understand. But I knew something, I knew that was my breaking point, right? I knew something needed to change. But then I had to understand that I was both him, the young man that killed him, and then I was him, the follower, the man that wanted to be not itself, the young man, or I was a young lady, but the young man that just wanted to be accepted. So right after he got murdered, before he got murdered, we were seeing a lot of killings, but after 2020 just took the biggest hit in Seattle, in America. So 30 days after that, I lost my nephew. And he is at a candle visual light, Luati. So it just started, it was just way too many people that I knew, from their dads and their mamas to I knew them. I just couldn't take another, it just was like my own, right? And so it hadn't allowed me to, people call it grieve. I haven't been able to grieve. My grieve means get up. My grieve means don't give up. My grieve means get these other mothers, right? My grieve is because I'm seeing moms, just losing weight, losing their hair, losing everything, right? And so I visualized all that, but I lost my heart, my soul, right? So I started coming from being empty. So I just would pick up the phone and just check on them. You guys good? And they answered because we was able to identify and relate, right? So, just trying to be a shoulder, no matter what the situation was, letting them know we gonna be it. We got us, right? And I kept saying we got each other. So it helped me say, man, my son always like, Mom, I got us. Like, man, we got us, moms. We got each other. And I was like, have a pledge to it. Like, make sure that you don't have to give me nothing but your shoulder. You don't owe me nothing but my shoulder. I don't owe you. This is yours. I don't got nothing to offer. If you want to do a balloon, So at that time, before I ended up writing a proposal on it, I didn't have nothing but my love, right? I'm gonna come and see you, and cry on each other's shoulders. But then I felt like every time that I met them, it made me feel like I was making them relive their pain again, right? Because we crying again. So I was like, no. When I come around these moms, I want to give them something. I want to inspire them, right? And so I was like, if I had money, I'll give them a massage. I'll take them on a hike. I'll take them to a retreat in somewhere where the sun's at, because I felt like, if we gonna grieve, let's grieve with our son in the sun. Let's grieve by some water. Let's grieve in a place that will still allow us some strength to heal, so we can be able to fight for the next day. So that's how I ended up coming up with We Got Us Moms, right? But then it has a lifeline. It's the connection that I'm supposed to help, or not me, us. We're supposed to help rebuild family. It's about restoring mother and fatherhood, right? It's restoring. They don't have to be together, but they need to be healthy co-parents. Healthy, right? And what does that look like? We ain't calling each other a whole bunch of B's and ends and all of that, right? And what you say, as long as it ain't harmful, I'm respected and highlighted when it comes to our child. And you do the same for me, so they won't get at each other's house and then use us against each other, right? Because kids do that too, right? If we teaching them the same morals, that he or she gonna do it at either home, right? And we got to get out of. So I told myself that I don't really care for my baby's dad, right? But I needed to apologize to him, just in case I did hurt him and didn't know, right? But he's still a little angry, and that's okay. However, I was still able to say that, right? I am apologizing to you, because I did help, my behaviors. I didn't kill my son, but I know that some of my behaviors and my old ways helped him identify that this is he wanted to be somebody he wasn't, instead of being the young man that I wanted him to be.
That piece right there talks about healing, because and humility, because being able to identify, okay, well, I may not necessarily be able to savor this relationship. I at least want to make it clear that I'm in a different direction. I can't approach this thing. It's like what people say about insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And it's the same thing. It's like, I can't keep on doing this because my unhealed self was sending and using tools that did not lead my son in the result that I wanted him to. And it takes a lot of courage to say that. It takes a lot of accountability. And I also love that We Got Us Moms is about taking moms out of their environment and showing them something different to live for, to push them into, to remind them that their purpose is so much valuable than that one moment, right? And that their children, although I don't know them personally, I could imagine as a child to my own mother, you have to live. I want you to see the best of the world and the best of life. And so with that today, what are your hopes for our beloved community? What are your hopes for this generation? What would you want them to know when we talk about the remainder of this year and what you want to do with highlighting Horace's story and others?
I want our community to understand what the be loved mean, right? And that means be loved, right? In order to be loved, you have to be loved. And I think that it has some great attachments, right? That can expand, right? It's just keeping that awareness. It's just like the click it or ticket. Wear condoms or catch AIDS. We got to talk about be loved or be dead.
Wow.
Be healed or be a fool. Okay? So it's either or, right? There's no negotiation, right? And so I think that Beloved have that heart, you know, that heart has, it can pump. It has a lot, right? Yeah. And that blood, all we just got to do is just keep it flowing, right? And keep it healthy. And I think that our community and our kids, our peers, will transform, right? And we'll turn all this stuff that we going through, we'll turn it into love. I think that it has that opportunity, right? Instead of shots fired, how many hugs we gave, how many, you know, because we're going to deal with what the past has been already brought to us as in our lap, right? Yeah. But moving forward, we don't have to bury no more children.
Right.
We don't have to, you know, figure out if our schools is about to be saved, you know, get help.
Yeah.
Get help. Stop overlooking the issues, right? If the father is not in the home, don't allow the son to just get away with anything because you're a single parent, right? You know, be their parent, right?
Yeah.
Be their friend too, so you can have built that relationship. You know what I'm saying? I want to know when you want to talk about boys. I want to be able to have that, right? But I don't want to where I'm hiding or I'm accepting, right? The purses, the money, and I know you're doing wrong, right? Yeah. Be okay with saying, baby, I can't do it. Mom want to see you do better. Dad want to see you do better, right? That's where the love. That's what love is. That's what being loved is. I love you, son. I love you, daughter. You know.
And this has kind of been, honestly, your attitude towards change, this whole conversation, which is talked about in the past, and a version of you that wasn't in pursuit of healing and holiness, right? You were okay with negotiating change. Mm-hmm. But now you're like, I don't negotiate change. I'm either for it or I'm not.
At all.
And it seems like as a community, we have to fix our attitude and our, what they say, pedagogy, mm-hmm. the way we're taught. We have to be able to look at the situation and look at the urgency and look at the lives that we are now having to bury. Mm-hmm. These are daughters, fathers, sons, grandparents. There's an urgency to this. I don't take any of this lightly, and I know you don't. So if we see it urgent, are we going to be for love? Or are we going to be for hate?
Right.
And if we're for hate, this cycle continues.
That's it.
And also I hear you saying is it's okay to say, I don't know what to do, but help me. Mm-hmm. This is coming from a place of genuine desire for healing in our community and for transformation. And it's not coming from someone who's read a book on it, and that's fine. It's coming from someone who's literally walked it. Thank you for sharing them with me.
Thank you.